Hey, what's going on? Leo here. Now, I was watching some anime and I was having sound issues. For reference, I am on a Sonos Play 5. I got that back in, I don't know, 2014, something like that, 16 maybe. All I know is it's a Sonos Play 5. I was having issues with it connecting to my computer and it not playing sound. So I had solved that. It was just an issue of an update. But I had to unplug my Sonos, plug it back in, update it, and then restart my computer. For whatever reason, it showed it as muted. I have no idea why, but I figured it out. Just restarted the computer, updated the Sonos, and everything started working again. Now I started watching anime, and I noticed that my volume was low. It was very, very low. Now, a couple things here is that the first thing I check is the bottom right corner here to bring up the volume, show that I'm actually, you want to check you're on the right setting, the right output. For me, it's my monitor, and then I have my Sonos connected to the monitor through a line in, which is the 3.5 millimeter audio jack and stuff. So we went there, made sure the volume was all the way up, make sure nothing's muted. Check that out, everything was fine. Depending on what actual external player you're using or regular speakers, be sure to check the volume on that. First of all, make sure the volume's up on that. Make sure it's not muted. Make sure it's not connected to some other device instead of your device that you're trying to watch it on. For me, so I opened up the Sonos app, checked everything, made sure the volume was all the way up, make sure it's not muted, make sure the Sonos is actually playing on my monitor, because with Sonos you can connect to Spotify, Pandora, and other apps. It's wireless. So it was on my computer, everything's checking out, the volume's all the way up. I went into the app settings, checked the equalizer. The equalizer's fine. Another thing I checked was loudness. For Sonos, there's a loudness limiter and stuff like that. So I just went in the settings, looked for that, made sure it was on loud, or it's able to play that loud. And I was starting to get frustrated. So the first thing here is we're gonna go in. I was watching One Piece. That's what I was watching. For the video player, right? I'm gonna move the camera a bit so I can see. For that video player, you can see the One Piece poster back there. So you want to make sure the sound on the video player, make sure that's not muted, and you want to make sure the sound's either all the way up or to your liking, wherever maybe you don't want to listen to stuff loud, maybe you want to listen to it low, maybe you're just having some audio issues where it's not as loud as you want it to be. And that was my main issue here, is that I would play other things and it would be super loud and I had no idea why. So right now I have it on the default settings, what I had, where I was, frustrating. This is going to be audio off the phone where I'm speaking. I'm not sure how clear that's going to show up in video, how it's going to be, but we're going to go ahead and play a little clip here and see how loud that is.
理不尽な暴力を振るう筋の通らねえバカ者どもって言ってるんだバカ野郎だが俺たちはそのバカに勝てなかった
Okay, so I'm going to rewind it a bit and go back to about the same spot. I mean, I can listen to that. It's fine if I have nothing else in the room on. If I turn on my fan and I play this, it's frustrating all around because I have noise coming from the fan now while I'm still sitting there trying to listen to anime and with the volume not being as loud as I want it to be. So sometimes it's like I wish it was just louder to overcome the noise of the fan. Alright, so it's going to take me to the next thing that I went to. I believe I went into the sound settings. Well, I typed it in here. So let's just do control panel. Go to hardware, device, sound. And I was looking right here. Made sure again that I am on my monitor. Even did a test. The test comes out fine. Make sure there was nothing else there. Go to sounds over here. I mean, I look at this right here and I'm like, what am I looking at? So I get out of there. Okay. So there's another thing that you can look at, which is your sound mixer settings. This is for Windows 10, by the way. I should have mentioned that at the start. So we type that in. Sound mixer options, and it should bring you up No, that's not it. Let's try that again. Just type in sound mixer. There it is. Okay, so it shows up top, master volume. My output is my monitor. Everything else is it separates things into, I guess, categories or whatever you're looking at. So the NVIDIA container, system sounds, Steam, Discord, Final Fantasy 14, which is where I noticed the big sound difference. I went to go to Final Fantasy 14, turn on the sound there. I'll turn it on in a bit, and hopefully you can tell the difference within the video. Discord again, not sure why I have two Discords. Who knows? And Google Chrome. This is what I'm watching One Piece on, is Crunchyroll through Google Chrome. So this was fine. It was already at 100%, so I was, at this point, I'm even more boggled. I go back into the app, I check for other things. It's like everything's maxed out. All the settings are maxed out, and it is still playing about like mid-tier volume. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, I'm Googling here and there, and I'm finding nothing to help me out with it. And then it wasn't until I went back into, I'm just going to do this, you know, so everyone sees. Back into the sound settings or the control panel. So go back in there, go back to hardware and sound, and I go back to my monitor. So, you know, you configure speakers, test. Of course, I configured these. I tested those, and it does left and right again. I hit next. Full range speakers. This was check marked off. So I check marked it. Really didn't notice a difference whenever I check marked that. So we're gonna go back into it, to the properties, and then it wasn't until I went to advanced, I tried to mess with it. For this, I took this off. I'm not sure if it changed anything or not for me, but it says allow applications to take exclusive control of this device. So I went ahead, it was check marked, and it said give exclusive access, you know, to applications. I uncheck marked that because I'm thinking in my head, if I give them exclusive access in control of the device, that they'll lower the volume down to, you know, oh, maybe the volume's too loud for them, it's damaging their ears. That's what my thought process was. Spatial sound, that was more for headphones. So levels, I checked the levels again just to, you know, check them. I knew they were already at max. It wasn't until I went to enhancements. I saw disable all enhancements, bass management, room correction, loudness, equalization. So before this, I'm going to show you Final Fantasy 14 and play you a sound clip off of there, play you the sound on there. So let's get this. I mean, you probably won't be able to see this. I'll flip the camera around so you can, because my screen's probably not catching this or something like that. So go to system configuration. Now right here, I always cut off the master volume. Just because sometimes I don't like listening to the in-game music, and I want to listen to other music, whether that's on Spotify or YouTube or anywhere else. So I just muted it. Now, I will warn you right now, this is full volume. If it comes through, you may want to turn your volume down some. I just kept it at full blast for the dramatic difference in sounds. So we're going to do this. So that was that. Pretty loud for me. Now I'm gonna go back to sorry about that. Now we're gonna go back to the One Piece clip. Final Fantasy clearly overpowers that. Final Fantasy 14 clearly overpowers that as far as audio and volume goes. And that's where it's like, what is going on here? I started questioning it more and more. Why is this video player playing so low? Is there a limit somewhere I'm not seeing? So it wasn't until I came into enhancements on the properties for the monitor underneath the sound control panel, and I clicked on loudness and equalization. I hit apply. I'm like, oh, whatever. That's probably not going to do much. And I hit play.
そのバカに勝てなかった。よし、言ったな。ぶっ殺してやる。
Now, I don't know if you can tell within the video, but we're gonna click it off again, hit play again.
俺たちはそのバカに勝てなかった。よし、言ったな。
Go back one more time, hit loudness equalization, hit apply.
だが、俺たちはそのバカに勝てなかった。
To me, that is clearly much louder. I went ahead and just did the bass management, put that on. Go back. Now there's a little bit more, there's more bass within the video. So I'm totally happy with that. This is what solved my problem. Hopefully there was maybe some things I went over within here that helped you solve your sound issues that you were having as to if audio was not playing or not. But this is my issue right here, is that I was playing at max volume, everything maxed out, and the video still sounded low to me. Very low compared to everything else, especially in game. So the bass management, loudness equalization is what fixed it for me. Hopefully that does something for you guys. Room correction, I didn't mess with it. It says something about calibrating. I'm not some big audiophile or anything like that where I'm all about sound and stuff. I just want it to be louder right now to where I'm happy. So there's sound equalization and what was it? The bass management. That's what helped me right here. So that's gonna be everything that I know to my knowledge as to anything that I found out. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see y'all around.